The 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Is brought to you by Lloyd's Construction and Consulting, providing first-class construction services on 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it. Well, you know me, Jeff. I try to be down the middle guy. This is not a political statement. This is just a question that I want to ask, and I don't quite understand it. It came this weekend in a well-thought-out and wonderfully written article in the Washington Post.
I'm surprised you were able to read it. You got past the paywall.
No, I didn't. I just read the headline.
WAPO.
And it simply states in the headline of the WAPO, and we spent time on this, researching it. It's by a lovely woman with a PhD. And this was the article, ladies and gentlemen. I just throw it out there. Again, me, down the middle guy. I try to see love, Jeff. I try to see it on both sides.
You're a uniter, not a divider.
I am a uniter, friend. I can work things out, man.
Dan Hickett here for Jeep.
Yes, thank you, friend. The Buccaneers embody Tampa's love of pirates. Is that a problem?
The Buck, we need to change that. Hey, you laugh, but I told you guys this. Where's he going to stop? Vikings are marauders. They rape and pillage. At some point, Vikings is not going to be acceptable, and now it's happened with Buccaneers.
Oh, gosh, help me.
Pittsburgh Pirates, look out.
Buccaneers embody Tampa's love of pirates, comma. Is that a problem?
What is the proposed problem? Because pirates are bad people?
The pirates, Dr. Jamie Goodall, the pirate historian and post-columnist, has written about this. And it's a wonderful read if you can get past the paywall.
This is not in the Onion.
Yeah, that's just, again.
Is it not? Am I wrong?
This is not a satire piece?
I wish it was silly.
I don't think so, friend.
What the hell are we doing?
You can check, but
you guys don't listen to me when I told you this was coming.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was. I don't think it was.
I told you this was
Shiver
coming.
me timbers.
And then my other one, I got one more media slam, and this goes to and again, I get it, man. Like I said, I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm a uniter, not a divider. But when the Chiefs took the field, they had the FSU war chant going. I'm assuming it was piped in or whatever. That's what the Chiefs
their
do.
cheer, sure.
Okay. And holier than thou columnist Bill Plaschke of the Los Angeles Times or whatever the LA paper is out there. Is it the time? Was I wrong, Beef?
No, I've got some cuts. Somebody else got some quotes from the WAPO.
Oh, you got some?
Here's a quote from Jamie Goodall, who has a PhD.
Okay.
Quote.
She did a good job with the H.
I wasn't wrong.
Yet, while this celebration of piracy seems like innocent fun and pride in a local culture, there is danger in romanticizing ruthless cutthroats who created a crisis in a world
Very
trade.
Very dangerous.
When they captured and plundered thousands of ships on the Atlantic trade routes between the Americas, Africa, and Great Britain.
Yeah,
plundered them. Beef.
Vikings too. What about the Vikings?
What about the plundering, Dr. Goodall?
I could come up with more.
Why?
So anyway,
what about giants? They're always ogres. They scare little kids from the time they're 4 years old.
Why?
Giants have got to go.
Why?
What about bears in the menstruation cycles?
Well,
because it takes these murderous thieves who did terrible things, like locking women and children in a burning church.
Yeah.
And
listen to me.
Them a symbol of freedom and adventure.
Let me ask you this.
Well,
do you think the 49ers weren't drunkenly destroying the
Disney's got some
society?
explaining to do with the Pirates of the Caribbean then.
Well, there you go.
They made billions off of like 5
again,
movies.
you guys think
Is that right?
I think what's going to happen by the time our great grandkids are around,
Is that a problem?
It's going to be the Jacksonville football team, the Pittsburgh football team, the Washington football team.
Do you think when they go back in dodgeball, they'll have to kind of change that one character and
Pirate Steve?
Yeah, take Pirate Steve and kind of blank him out of the picture.
Put like the C-SPAN, like the blue dot over his head.
But then Plaschke wonders, says out loud, this music, the NFL just doesn't get it. You're right, Plaschke. We just went through a pandemic. They played 269 football games on time. They're a multi-billion-dollar industry that gives millions of dollars to charity, and you got a problem with this. Holy hell. I'm done. Yeah. I'm done with that. I'm a uniter, not a divider, and I see things in the middle. I try to understand both sides. I just had to bring up the WAPO column because I was concerned for the kids, and what's going on down there. My daughter is in Tampa, and, I don't want her to get plundered.
Well, no. Who knows what, what's the Buccaneers' name? Benny the Buck? What's his name?
Yeah, Billy Buck.
What else?
Tommy Buck.
He's coming. He's
Bucko
coming.
Bruce?
Bucko Bruce.
Yeah,
Thank you very
Bucko
much.
Bruce is
Computer
right.
pirate.
He's probably now drunk on power, going to terrorize the entire community. So keep your doors locked, Tampa. The Pirates are pillaging this morning.
I dare you to fire the cannon, you freaking
Yeah,
terrorist.
you think it's funny? You watch the Bucks and it'll happen. The Vikings, the Bucks, the Packers, they're all going to have to change their names.
Is that a problem?
Did you see them terrorizing poor Rich Eisen during
They
the
did.
NFL Network pregame show?
I did.
Again, monsters.
All right, so I've come to
Frightening.
this determination.
Yes.
Okay? The weekend is just not a big enough boy to
Everybody's working for the weekend.
get the call to do the halftime show. It's not a big enough boy. It's not a big enough artist.
And that's fair because I'm going to tell you why. Because
And I knew 2 or 3 of his songs, and they were fine.
I
but
knew
he's-
one of them.
I knew 3 of them, but he's not, and it's not a matter of knowing. And by the way, Shoddy, and didn't he allegedly spend $7 million to make sure that technically this thing came off as best it could?
At least on the set design, he spent $7 million of his own money.
Technically, this was a disaster. His mic, the mic that controlled his singing, was not loud enough. You heard the other stuff, and you didn't hear his voice.
Might be a
loud
reason
enough.
for that. I don't know.
I don't know. It was not.
I'm just saying,
not good.
and I feel I didn't watch it as much. I mean, I had it on, and I'd look up at it, and I watched the beginning because I was intrigued, but I don't feel like I should comment on it because I'm not an expert. So I let the other and I put it out on Twitter. The boys don't seem happy with the halftime show, and most of them said 100% it was terrible.
I think the majority were at least confused, perplexed by it.
Yeah.
But a lot of the younger set came into my mentions when I also expressed some criticism and raised eyebrows. So they thought it was great.
Okay, so I'm looking back, and I think Pross touched on something. It's got to be somebody who like The Weeknd. I barely even know who The Weeknd is. Okay, but I know who Shakira and
by the
J-Lo
way,
is.
and can I say something too?
Yeah.
Before the snarky comments come.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not like 80-year-old man that reads National Geographic. We keep up with time. It's not like we literally don't know who The Weeknd is.
Like, who would have been, Beef, you're better at this.
Yeah.
Give me 5 off the top of your head better choices. If you're looking for
well, I think if you're looking for like a pop act,
Yeah.
what about Swiftie?
Okay.
Swifty's huge.
Okay.
Swift's got huge records.
All right.
If you're going,
But she would have been, I don't know.
She's
She's
enormous.
big. Okay.
She's enormous.
So you think she's been asked before?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think she's a bigger get than The
right.
Weeknd. Who knows? Maybe she's been asked and she doesn't want to do it.
What about the King of Staten Island's ex-girlfriend? What is she a bit? Is she
Ariana
worthy?
Grande?
Yeah.
I think she's a bigger get than
Sure.
than
The
The Weeknd. Yeah.
All right. Who else?
Yeah. What if you want to go to the rock edge? I mean, what about like a big band like I don't know, like the Foo Fighters or somebody?
Okay.
They're
okay.
they're a huge band.
They've been around for. Haven't they done one or
What
no?
about
They have not.
what about Bublé? Would he have been big?
Sure, Bublé. Why not?
What about Sir Elton? How would he have been?
Danny and the Heel Tones?
What about Danny and the Heel Tones?
Why not?
What about Sir Elton? How would he have played?
He would have been good in that 6-year stretch from like 04 to 10. He should have slid in there where they're bringing in the old guys.
This is why I can't comment too much on the music. But again, from what I understood, not since Katie was dancing around with the Sharks have I felt such negativity, I think, in the
This
halftime
is certainly
show.
the weirdest one since then.
Yeah. So, anyway, take it for
It
for
was
a grain
better
of
than
salt.
Adam Levine.
I didn't think it was.
It was better. Why didn't we like Adam Levine?
I didn't
'Cause he
think
took his
Adam.
shirt
I
off?
didn't
It
think
sounded
Adam
bad.
Levine's was as terrible.
It was a mishmash.
Bruno Mars was good.
He's
I
been great.
didn't think last night was terrible. It just wasn't good for me.
I think Bruno Mars should be like up with people and they just have him do it every year.
I think if it had been better technically, maybe it would have been better.
All right. What about Up With People? Are they still around?
They're great.
What about Drake? Someone said maybe Drake should do it.
Has Drake done it?
I don't think
Drake
so.
has not done it.
Drake hasn't done it?
No.
Hmm.
Maybe Drake could do it.
Okay. It's interesting, to see. And you didn't like the commercials? I thought the commercials were okay. I didn't see all of them. I was at work last night, but I did see some that we previewed and talked about. I thought were pretty good.
I had a favorite. My favorite was, I think it's very, I give a lot of credit to creativity.
Yes.
That's what catches me. So it doesn't always have to be the best or the funniest, but if it's super creative, then I'll prop it a little bit more. These commercials they do where the person is having the conversation with
the mobile
someone.
phone. Those
and
are good.
And what they really say,
Yeah.
and then what they hear because
those are
they're
creative.
dropping in and out. They had one with Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton and them hooking
They
up.
didn't run
that was cute.
Didn't we talk about they did not run the Brady Gronk one?
The Brady Gronk ran during the golf. I saw it during the
I didn't
golf.
see a Brady
Okay.
Gronk ad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Best investment was Reddit for their 5-second commercial.
Yeah.
That went very viral.
I didn't see it. What was it?
It was 5 seconds of just text
Okay.
encouraging people to get on Reddit. The power of Reddit.
Okay. What about
Good timing on that
What
one.
about the It Wasn't Me one? Was that good? Was that hailed as a good one?
It wasn't good.
I didn't think it was
It was
great.
stupid.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good with Ashton and Mila.
100% biggest clunker for me was the terrible Uber Eats Wayne's World with Cardi B.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Just a clunker.
Yeah, it wasn't great. What was the best one to you?
Yeah, I don't know. None of them were great.
Really?
I did like Jeff. I liked that one. That was at least creative.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't find them very particularly great.
All right. So not the best of years for. What was the deal with at the beginning of? I'll tell you what I loved. I loved the open with the parents. I thought that was terrific. I
By
don't
the
know
way,
if you guys saw it.
Hologram
Vince
Lombardi.
Yeah. What was
Never
that?
do that again.
What was that?
Never do that again.
Was that Vince?
It was like hologram Vince, and he sounded terrible, and then
Yeah.
they brought it back later.
Yeah.
Never do it again.
They made it a commercial. It
Yeah.
was a commercial, but I didn't. That didn't
like
work.
that.
Yeah, please
I'll
don't
tell
ever
you
do that
one
again.
that I'll tell you one that I thought was kind of creepy. That's gotten good reviews. I like the topic. I like the subject of the commercial, but the Paralympians swimming through like these darker watered
It's a great
rooms.
topic,
But it was creepy to me. I felt like I was watching The Conjuring or something.
Was that the real voicemail? Did she save the voicemail?
Yeah, that I don't know.
I don't know.
Probably not. But
Maybe though.
that was
It was
good.
just, but it was just I didn't understand the dark and you're swimming through living rooms. It was just kind of creepy to me.
Going through life.
I guess
It was a symbol of her trials and tribulations of going against the wave and the struggles of
I know,
life.
yeah,
to which she won
it was
23
dark. It was dark and
championships.
depressing, is what that made it.
At what point-
could have been uplifting? I thought, man, come up through all those dark corridors into a beaming rainbow, something.
At what point during Bruce Springsteen's Jeep ad did you realize that was a car commercial?
Yeah, I missed that one.
I heard that his was terrible.
I mean, it just went on forever. You're like, what is this? What's
Yeah.
going on? Oh, it's a commercial for Jeep.
Oh, okay.
All right, the funniest thing that I thought happened during the entire Super Bowl, you would have had to been listening to the radio. Tony Baselli, who will join us for breakfast with Baselli, again, as we bathe in the sorrow of another missed opportunity in the hall. But we'll talk about that and the game. He was on the radio broadcast, so he got to hear, right into his production earphones, the following interlude. If you're watching the game on television, you do know that someone ran onto the field. They didn't give you as much
Nance
detail.
actually made a funny about it, though.
Yeah.
Which was rare.
Well, you didn't get quite the detail that Kevin Harlan gave on the radio side. Here was Harlan's quote-unquote call when the streaker hit the field.
Second down, 20, 5:03 to go. Someone has run on the field. Some guy with a bra. And now he's not being chased. He's running down the middle of the 40. Arms in the air in a victory salute. He's pulling down his pants. Put up your pants, my man. Pull up those pants. He's being chased to the 30. He breaks a tackle from a security guard. The 20, down the middle, the 10, the 5. He slides at the 1, and they converge on him at the goal line. Pull up your pants. Take off the bra and be a man. And the players with hands on hips at the other end of the field are looking at him and shaking their head and saying, why, oh, why is this taking place in a Super Bowl?
That's terrific.
Well played.
Yellow shirts missed him.
He did that before. He did. There was another one where a guy got on the field and
he's done it before.
Harlan gave the.
Might have been a
the
squirrel.
run. I think he's done that one. I think he also did a fan getting hit before.
He's terrific.
Yeah.
That's outstanding work, and that's great off the top of your head. That's a wonderful ad lib. I didn't think it was a great game for Nance and Romo. There was a moment, like I'll give you an example. Brady's screaming at the sideline at the end of the half, screaming at the sideline. We're going, no, let's run the original or something like that. And that's where I need Tony Romo to jump in and tell us what's going on. And I thought, but they were too busy talking about something else. So I think they missed some opportunities. My favorite part of the Super Bowl is in a couple days watching the mic'd up stuff. I love that stuff.
We're going
for
to
the
speak good
Super
stuff
Bowl.
from that. I want to
that.
hear what was going on between Brady and Honey Badger.
Yeah,
I don't know
that'll be good,
exactly
too.
what was.
Yeah.
What was.
Yeah.
By the
what
way,
was said there.
the clip you mentioned,
Yes.
He's walking to the 3. He's at the 2.
That's the squirrel.
And the cat is in the CDW
Cat.
red zone. CDW, people who get it now, a policeman, a state trooper has come on the field, and the cat runs into the end zone. That is a touchdown. And the cat is elusive, kind of like Barkley and Elliott.
So it was a cat. Cat.
It was a cat. We knew it was something, some sort of rodent critter. Anyway, so overall, look, it's the most watched, the most viewed of any sport. I'll be curious to see. They say, they hit like 100 million people watch it, and then you've told me that there's more than 300 million people in this country.
In this country, yeah. There's about 350 million.
I've always wondered, what are the other 250 million doing?
I think it'll be. I like when the ratings come in. I think this will be one of the more heavily watched. I mean, this game had it all.
Well, until maybe in the first half, and then maybe they got away from it because it was sort of a blowout.
It was not. I never felt the game was over until they drove it down. They were down 31-9. It was early fourth. They had the ball again down there inside the 10-yard line. They couldn't score. I felt like if they could have scored there, we might have had a game. But so it didn't completely lose me from the competitive standpoint. When you look back at the end, it seems like it was a blowout. I didn't feel the blowout. But I tell you what, the sequence there at the end of the first half where the Chiefs gave them extra opportunities with first there was the pass interference, and then there was the lining up off sides. And you can't. They kept a drive alive.
When they got the goal line stand, then Townsend shanked a punt, and then they went and scored again, and it was 14-3. And then it was 14. Was it 14-6?
Yeah.
Did the Chiefs have the ball then driving down?
No,
that's where they kicked the field goal.
Kicked the field goal.
But if they had scored the touchdown there and milked the clock and made it 14-10, they get the ball to start the second half. They could have had one of those moments. Instead, with 1:04 to go, they give the ball to Brady. They call Kansas City calls the timeout.
Twice they called timeouts.
And that was proved to be disaster.
And bad break.
Brady went full out 2017 AFC Championship at the end of the half, and A.J. Boye pass interference. He got the long pass PI, and that gives them, again, a dumb rule in the NFL that perhaps one day they'll change back, but but I thought it was a pass interference.
Yeah.
People
it's bad break, but
you can't hit the back of his legs.
No, you can't trip him while he's running under the ball.
Plus, he's ahead of you.
Yeah, he was
You're beat.
I mean,
so from the back judge, he's looking at him. He's beat. All of a sudden, he sees him go down.
Yeah,
it's a smart play by Evans too.
I think he did get knocked down.
Yeah.
I don't think he faked it, and I think he would have caught the ball had he not got knocked down. It was a tough break for Kansas City. It was 100%. It was a penalty.
But again, and it looked like it was another penalty. It looked like it was offsides on the field goal.
It was offsides.
I wish they would have had. Do they not have it down the line?
I don't know. That
you got to show it, man.
That was not a good angle for sure.
But I will say this: when they got the ball at the 10-yard line, the days of the uncatchable pass are over because that one went through the end zone.
Yeah,
and they called the PI on the Honey Badger, which put it at the 1. And allowed
AB scored.
Them to score. But also, if you'll notice, there was 10 seconds the ball was on the 10, and then there was 10 seconds the ball was on the 1.
That was a mistake. They didn't change the clock. I don't know what happened. They got about 4 or 5 extra seconds, and it was never corrected. We were screaming that at where I was.
Yeah, and
what is going on? It's still 10 seconds.
And one more criticism on the flip side, and this is one small, tiny criticism of the GOAT who doesn't deserve any criticism today, but, hey, GOAT, what are you thinking? You want to run down and spike the ball with 13 seconds? If you do that, you're going to have 3 seconds.
Yeah, no, that
was a smart play by the sidelines to call the timeout and give them 10 seconds, which would have allowed them a couple opportunities.
All right, I want to mention one other thing from the world of sports, and that was the golf this weekend where – it was so funny. It's set up for
You're welcome, Beef.
It was so funny. Yeah, we made him take this guy.
And I appreciate it.
But it was so set up for a return to glory for one golfer, and then all of a sudden it's another one that's kind of been out of sight, out of mind who instead flared up.
Came out of nowhere, too. I mean, I'm looking at, I had it on in the background at work, and I look back, and, he's like 14 under, and I'm like, good
still
tournament.
About 4 shots back.
Then I looked up again, and he's tied for the lead.
And then he made the eagle.
He eagled 17, and I was like, holy cow, he's going to win.
He is Brooks Koepka, who I don't think won last year, did he?
He's won this tournament before.
Yeah,
but
it's the first tournament he ever won.
Is it
this tournament?
Okay.
Yeah, that was his debut on a Super Bowl Sunday. I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago.
So Brooks Koepka, the best Brooks Koepka shot though was him on the phone at the end, turning around.
I won another one. Yeah, I won another one. It's not that hard with these jokers; they all choke.
And that's what it was. It was choke city.
Yeah, they all went backwards. Spieth though just cannot. look, great signs for Jordan Spieth this weekend.
Yeah.
He was in contention. He didn't have that blow up that took him, out of the cut or off the first page. He stayed on the first page of the leaderboard all week. And I was rooting for Spieth to get a win. But you still don't feel like, okay, he's back. He still feels like he's just a little bit loose.
He was rolling in putts that he used to roll in when he was hot on Saturday, but he couldn't maintain it on Sunday. And another check casher, Schauffele, and then Hahn got a 2-stroke lead and looked up and pooped himself. And it really makes you appreciate how great Tiger Woods or Tom Brady or the primetime players, they don't care the venue. They don't care the situation. They're just great all the time. They don't get nervous. So many athletes do get nervous, and it was interesting. All right, we got to take a break. Beef, do we have a prize pack this week?
Oh, yeah, buddy.
What do we got, Frank?
We're going to hook the Googans up with selections from the Valentine's Day gift guide
Oh.
over at 1010XL.com. Today's prize pack features $25 to Edwin Watts, $25 to Woody's Barbecue,
Jeez.
and a $50 chocolate gift basket from
grief.
Peterbrook Chocolatier. Find those and other
Sign me up.
great gift ideas at 1010XL.com.
All right, we will check
Caller
the
number 2. Caller number 2 right now.
We'll check the proof and performance from the prop bets. We'll close the book on
the year.
Yeah,
The year that was.
Friday 5-pack, a resounding victory for yours truly, where
About
3 under
time.
500 gets you a blowout victory this go round.
I want to do a quick inventory on your soul, Dan.